Good afternoon to all of you. We were studying the chapter Nationalism in India. Yesterday, we had studied about the First World War. We studied about the coming of Gandhiji to India and bringing a new method of struggle, that is Satyagraha, under which he asked the people of India to continue with their protest, but by using non-violent methods. Gandhiji, he started Satyagraha at various places like Champaran district of Bihar, Kheda district of Gujarat, and at Ahmedabad. And he got huge success in all these areas. After this, Gandhiji, he became a nationwide figure and spread the idea of non-violent struggle throughout the country. So during his initial years in India, he started Satyagraha at various places. But in 1919, Gandhiji started nationwide Satyagraha movement. And this nationwide Satyagraha movement was started against the Rowlatt Act, which was passed by the British government in 1919. To suppress the protest against the British, Rowlatt Act was passed, which was actually a threat to the British Empire. Under the Rowlatt Act, anyone who is suspected in the eyes of the government can be arrested and he can be put behind the bars for a period of 2 years without any trial. So anybody who is suspected will be put behind the bars for a period of 2 years without any trial. Now, what is trial actually? Trial, it is a process in court where a judge will listen to the evidences and will decide if somebody is guilty of crime or not. So under the Rowlatt Act, the person who was arrested, he had no right to appeal, vakil or dalil. He cannot apply even for a bail. So basically you can say that it was a kind of dictatorship that was imposed by the British government during 1919 after the passing of the Rowlatt Act. Then it was on 6th of April 1919 that nationwide strike took place against the Rowlatt Act. And it was for the first time that there was nationwide movement against the British government under the leadership of Mahatma Gandhi. So this is a Rowlatt Act. People actively participated in the Rowlatt Act. They organized hartal. They took part in rallies. They shopped. They closed their shops. Transport and communication system came to a standstill. So there was active participation of people against the Rowlatt Act. Now this protest led to Jallianwala Bagh massacre, an incident where many people were killed. Now let us study about this incident. There was violent protest and there was imposition of martial law. There was nationwide protest against the British government. The police was not able to bring the situation under the control, and therefore the martial law was passed. What is martial law? When the administration of a particular area comes under military rule, this is known as martial law. So martial law was imposed, and for this purpose, General Dyer was appointed. Now let us study what happened at Jallianwala Bagh massacre. It was on 13th of April 1919 that a large crowd had gathered at Jallianwala Bagh, not knowing about the imposition of martial law. Some people had gathered there to celebrate the festival of Baisakhi. whereas some people had gathered there for a meeting. It was a peaceful and totally unarmed meeting. So there were a number of people in the Jallianwala Bagh massacre. During this time, General Dyer realized that he should give Indians a lesson. How dare the Indians protested against the British government? They should be given a lesson so that in future they don't think of even protesting against the British. Now, this Jallianwala Bagh, it actually had one entry and one exit. There was only one gate for the entry and the exit. He ordered his troops to close the entry and the exit gate and asked them to surround the Jallianwala Bagh. He ordered his troops to fire on the innocent people. And within few minutes, more than thousands of people were killed and many of them were wounded. The worst thing about this incident is that there were people of different age group, young people, old people, and small children. They all tried to save themselves, but they were not able to do it. Either they were killed or they were badly wounded. So this was the Jallianwala Bagh massacre where number of people were killed. After this, the Indians realized that by non-violent methods, we cannot protest against the British government. So therefore, people took to violent methods to protest against the British government. And you all know that Gandhiji always advocated non-violent methods. And now people started taking to violent methods, for which Gandhiji decided to call off the Rowlatt Satyagraha. Although this movement was called off, but to a very large extent, it brought the people close to each other against their common enemy, that is British. Also during this time, Gandhiji realized that we cannot achieve independence unless and until the Hindus and Muslims, they don't come together and fight unitedly. So therefore now Gandhiji wanted that Hindus and Muslims should together fight against the British rule. And he took the advantage of the case of Khalifa. During the First World War, the Ottoman Empire was a part of this war, and the Ottoman Empire was defeated during the First World War. The Sultan, the Turkish Sultan, the Sultan of Turkey or the Ottoman Empire, he was not only the Sultan of Turkey, but also he was the religious head of all the Muslims all over the world. And after his defeat in the First World War, Khalifa was going to lose all his powers, which disturbed the Muslims all over the world. As a result, the Khilafat committee was formed by two Ali brothers, Muhammad Ali and Shaukat Ali. And Gandhiji advised the Khilafat committee to adopt a policy of non-cooperation with the British government. So in this way, the Khilafat movement, it got the support of Mahatma Gandhi against the British. The Hindus and Muslims, they came together to fight against the British government. And this is what Gandhiji wanted. Gandhiji wanted a united struggle against the British, where both the Hindus and Muslims participate. Is this clear to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.